Hello, everybody. I want to show you this code about the two witnesses, Moses and Elijah. This is actually my second code about the witnesses. And the reason why I wanted to do this new code, it's because I recently came across this video on YouTube. Let me just show you. This video right here. This is from Prophecy Watchers, and basically they're talking about here, about Moses and Elijah being the witnesses from the past, from the ancient times, and that has been a prevalent interpretation of the two witnesses in Christianity, for a long time. Ever since I became a Christian back in the '90s, I came across that interpretation that the two witnesses are Moses and Elijah from the Old Testament. But ever since I came across that interpretation, I always had a problem with that because um, one of the sections that I first read in the Bible was the Gospels, and in the Gospels it's very clear that Jesus identifies John the Baptist as the Elijah to come. He told the Jews that if they were willing to accept it, John the Baptist was the Elijah to come. So I don't know why, in Christianity that has been the interpretation that Moses and Elijah, it's the from the Old Testament. And I mean, there's some merit to it. I mean, in the book of Revelations, it talks about, the miracles that they performed, the plagues, turning water into blood. And from that, they take the interpretation the Moses and Elijah are from the Old Testament. But there really is no precedence in the Bible for something like that, for prophets of all time coming to fulfill a ministry in the present time. I really don't see any precedence for that. But like I said, my main reason why I never agree with that interpretation is because Jesus um, identifies John the Baptist as as the Elijah to come. There's also another passage in Scripture and the Gospels also where Jesus talks about that the corrupted body cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. So if Elijah and Moses are in heaven, Moses died, but let's say Elijah. Let's just talk about Elijah. If Elijah went to heaven, he has a new body. His body was transformed already. There's just no way he went to the heaven with a corrupted body. The gospel, Jesus in the gospel makes it very clear that the corrupted body, the corrupted flesh, cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. So that's not possible. That's just not possible. If Elijah went to heaven, he already has his new body. So anyway, like I said, this interpretation that Moses and Elijah, are the two witnesses from the past. It's a prevalent view in Christianity. But recently, I have seen some people that they do, subscribe to the idea that it could be modern day people. I do see it, but mostly the interpretation it's Moses and Elijah from the past, from the Old Testament. So that is the main reason why I wanted to do a new code. And like I said, this is my second code about the witnesses. And let me just show you. Just let me pause here for a second. And let me just show you that first code that I did a few years back. It's actually on my previous channel. Let me just show you. It's right here. I got locked out of this channel, so I don't have access to it anymore. But let me just show you. Here it is. This is my previous channel. It's called Biblical News. And that first code that I did about two witnesses, that was a few years back. Let me just look for it over here. I know I have it here somewhere. It's somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's in 3 parts. This is it right here. So you guys can check that one out if you want. I also have it here on the actual software, so you can look at it. This is the same thing over there, over here. That code that goes in the channel, that YouTube channel. Like I said, I got locked out of that channel, so I don't have access to it anymore. But anyways, this one is a vertical key for the two witnesses. So it's the phrase. I don't have it in there, but this is basically the two witnesses. That's the key, and it's just one vertical key. Now, this one that I'm gonna do right now, it's different. And like I said, I took a different approach because I wanted to go over that subject about Elijah, Moses, and Elijah um, being modern day men, which is the title of the video. So you see the difference. Now this is what I call a compound key. This term over here, Moses, which is right here, Moses and Elijah. It's also in that first. It's in that first code that I did a few years back. It appears in here. If you look at the videos in the YouTube, you're gonna see it somewhere around here, around this area. It's in there too. But anyway, the main key, but it's not connected. See, this is what I want to show. There's a big difference. This is just the key, one vertical key, the two witnesses. But this one, this is a little bit different, and this one is actually more advanced than that first code that I did. This code is really out there. It has a tons of detail. I was initially gonna do just one take for this code, but I just kept finding more and more details, tons of detail, that it was just gonna be hard to do one take. I've actually delayed the whole process for a few weeks. So anyway, this is what I call myself. I really haven't seen anybody do this, but this is what I call a compound key. You see how you have here, I have here the vertical key. I have here the word from the witnesses. And right now, because I want to show you something in just a couple of minutes, I only have the word witnesses in there. I don't have the word from, because I want to show you something. But this is basically the starting point of the vertical key. It's witnesses, from the witnesses. It's right here. You see it right there, from the witnesses. And it's connected to this vertical key, which is Moses, Elijah. And I call it a compound key because you see you have a vertical component and you have also a horizontal component. And they're connected to each other. You see you have the word witnesses here ending with the letter mem is connected to the word Moses, Elijah, connected to the letter men that begins the word Moses. So you see how they're connected? So this is what I myself call a compound key. And it's actually, this compound key has three terms, as you can see over here, this one. This is also the word witnesses. I'm going to show you right now. You see, this one basically says, and the witnesses, comma, the year 70. And the reason why I did that, because obviously the two witnesses, the 70th week of Daniel, it's related to the two witnesses. We know that period is called the 70th weeks of Daniel. And this number here, 70, which is the letter Ayin, is what connect and the witnesses, the term and the witnesses, to the term from the witnesses. You see right here at the bottom, that letter right here, Ayin. And the witnesses, from the witnesses. The letter Ayin. Connect the two witnesses, the vertical one and the horizontal one. So you see how this key is a little bit complex. It's a compound key, and you got three terms in here. And like I said, there's tons of details in this code. I mean, it's just amazing. It's extraordinary, this code. So I'm gonna do it in part. I'm not gonna do it one whole take because this is just a bit too long. I'm gonna do that part, and if you into Bible codes, I guess you'll follow the series and the different parts of it. This main part's gonna be the main subject of the code, which is, you know, Moses and Elijah being modern day men. What does the code show me about that? And I think the code shows significant evidence. I mean, I'm certain of it actually. That Moses and Elijah are modern day men. That's just it. I mean, not even from the code, like I just explained at the beginning, from the scriptures themselves. You know what Jesus said about John the Baptist, and what Jesus said about not the corrupted flesh not being able to go into heaven. So if Elijah went to heaven, he has his new body already. He has the glorified body already. So he's not coming back to earth and die a second time. He already has immortality. He already has eternity on him. There's just no way he's going to come back and die. So anyway, but, so my starting point is the scripture. Like I said, the scriptures themselves. I'm giving you biblical evidence that the two witnesses have to be modern day men from the scriptures, from the gospels. But now let's take a look at the codes and see what they're saying. If you get additional supporting evidence for it. So before I get started, let me pause here another second. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Just bear with me a little bit as I keep pausing the video because I haven't been doing Bible codes in quite a few years, so I'm just trying to get into the rhythm of doing codes again. So just bear with me as I pause the video to gather my thoughts. Um, I don't want to miss the details, and like I said, I'm just trying to get into the rhythm of doing codes again. So the first thing I want to show you the statistics of just this compound key. Um, Take a look. If you look here at the bottom, you see it's only 52 letters in there. You see right here on the bottom of the table, as I'm circling right there. You see this whole compound key, that little square right there, only has 52 letters. And this is obviously related. You see, we got Moses and Elijah from the Bible, the two witnesses, the witnesses. So these are related words. Okay, so let's look at the statistics. That's the first thing I want to show you. And for that, let me just go to keys to the Bible. This is where I look at the statistics of it. And let's see. Let me see which is the one I'm looking at. It's a retrieve current matrix. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Retrieve current matrix right there. Okay, so I already have it there. So let me just show you this. Let me just put this in the center. So that's the same thing. It's the same code. So you can see here from the witnesses, the vertical. Moses and Elijah, the horizontal right here. And this is the other witnesses. And the witnesses, the number 70, connected to the other witnesses. All right, so this is that little square. And let's take a look at the statistics of that alone. All right, so let me just select these two over here, that one and this one, and you can see it right here at the bottom. You see 1 chance in 97 billion. That's the statistics. Let me highlight it right there so you can see it. And over here, I didn't label it, so it just puts whatever previous term I had in there. But this one over here is from the witnesses, the first one. The second one here is Moses, Elijah, and the third one it's and the witnesses. I don't have the ayin in there, the number 70, just the and the witnesses. But there it is. Here at the bottom, you can see it. Click that. Here at the bottom, you can see the statistics. You can look at it right there. 1 chance in 97 billion. That's the statistics of this happening by chance. This little square over here of 52 letters. And you can see there the number of letters too. This one has 65. Oh yeah, because this one has the front in it. That's why it has 65, not 52. Because it has the from. You see from the witnesses in the bottom, which I'm gonna add up to the other code in just a minute. So there it is. One chance, and look at it again. Where did this? Okay, select it, and right there. One chance in 97 billion. All right, let's go back to Code Finder now. I just wanted to start by showing you that. Now, the second thing I want to show you, it's what I mentioned. This code, it's really, really out there. It has tons of detail. I'm going to have at least a few parts, more than 5, 6, 7 parts at least. So this is going to be the first part, main part. And the first thing I want to show you is like the code actually has a supporting code. This one over here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that it has a supporting code. This one that I mentioned that has a lot of details, just this first occurrence right here that you see it over here. You see on the left side right here at a skip forward 2. You see that it occurs 2 times at a skip forward 2. So I have tons of detail in just the code, this one over here that I'm doing, which is, let me just give you a reference of where it's at by clicking over here. You see this is in Numbers, the book of Numbers 14:13. Okay, that's where that key is. The first one, the 402, the first key of 402. And like I said, tons of detail in here. And on top of having tons of detail, it has a supporting code of itself, like an additional code that it's supporting of this code, but it's a code of itself, which in that one it has some amazing things. If you follow the series, I guess, and you see that, I mean, it has some powerful uh, stuff in there, real detail, amazing detail in there. And it's this one right here. And actually, let me just click on this one. If I click on this one, you're gonna see this is a different place. You see, let me click on it, and let me show you. This is in, you see, this is in Leviticus. Leviticus 14:1. That's the supporting code, which I will show you later on in a different part of the series, another video of the series. But this is the one we're gonna be looking at right here. This is the main code, which is going to have the different parts. And this first part is going to be about Moses and Elijah being modern day men. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is what I mentioned about the word witness. I only have the word witnesses in here. So I'm going to add the word from to it. And like I said, I didn't have it there because I wanted to show you this one over here, the other witness code to it. So, but once I put the word from, then obviously this one over here, the second one, doesn't have that from. It has other stuff, but not that word from. So now that you saw that, let me go back. Let me just put the from in there. Let me just do it right here. And we put the letter mem in there. And that's the word from in Hebrew. Right there, from. Okay. And let me search it out. There it is. Now, let me just pause here for a second to deselect the terms again. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is this part of the compound key right here, Moses, Elijah. It actually occurs 3 times, as you can see over here on the left side. It occurs 3 times. This one over here on the bottom, right here, that's the one that is part of the key, the third one right there. But let me show you the other 2. Let me show you these other 2. Let's look at the first one right here. It's right here, right there on the top. Okay, you can see there, Moses, Elijah. And let's take a look at the other one too. Here's the other one. Moses, Elijah. So let's look at all 3 of them. Okay, so here it is. We have the one, and where is let me get this one over here, which is part of the compound key already. That one right there. Kind of had it deselected there for a second. So there it is, and the witnesses, 70. All right, so there it is, the compound key, with one of the terms Moses and Elijah being part of the compound key. But then we got two additional, which is already thematic. You see, we're talking about the two witnesses. So already to have Moses and Elijah two more times, and look how they occur. They're right next to each other. Moses and Elijah, right next to each other, almost on top of each other, right there, the same area. So it's already thematic. It's already supporting the code of the two witnesses. And this is something that I say about the Bible codes. This kind of details is basically what separates a code from random chance, from random occurrences. So look at this detail. This is the first detail I want to show you. So we got Moses and Elijah being part of the compound key. And, oh, and I forgot, before I get to that, I forgot to mention. You see, I forgot to say that I added the mem. It's right here. It wasn't there at the bottom. You see what I mean? But now it's there. You can see it in there at the bottom. At the bottom of the key over here. From the witnesses. So now we have the mem in there, which means from. So now we have the complete compound code, key. And this vertical part, actually, it gets a little more. It gets more complex than just from the witnesses. Before I continue, just let me give you what I'm gonna show you in other parts, not on this one, because I don't want to get sidetracked. But this compound key that says from the witnesses, I actually have more to it, both above and below, from the witnesses. And let's just give you a little bit of what's coming on the other parts of the code. I also have here from Jesus, from. That's amazing. Right here at the bottom of from the witnesses, we also have that. It's not going to be part of this code, but it's in there. From Jesus, from. So if you want to see that, just follow the series of this code, and you see that in later sections, in later parts of the series. But let's go back to what I was saying over here. This kind of details, it's what separates a code from random chance and random occurrences, and really what separates the Bible code from just about any other text out there that you can try to get codes. You're just not gonna be able to get the amount of detail and connections that the Bible codes give you. There's no text in the world gives you these kind of details like the Bible does. And like I said, I'll show you the statistic of just this part over here, 1 in 97 billion. So now let's look at this detail. So we got Moses and Elijah occurring two more times, and two, again, thematic to the two witnesses, right? And right next to each other. And look at this. If you see how they align, how this Moses over here, how it aligns vertically to and the witnesses. You see how it's in the same vertical line. The beginning of and the witnesses, 70, which is the second horizontal key to the compound key, perfectly aligns vertically to the beginning of these two terms, Moses and Elijah, on the top. You see, that's detail. That's connection between the code. That is supporting evidence, supporting the code itself, supporting the key. You see, Moses and Elijah occurring two times, right next to each other, and perfectly aligning horizontally to and the witnesses right here in the bottom. You see how that is? That's just amazing. That's really, really amazing detail right there. Okay, let me show you the next turn now. Next turn, let me just click on it right here. And this is also another term for the word witnesses. And this is just the word witnesses. And gonna see right now on the next term how this connects to the modern day man part of the code. So there it is. So we got here another word for witness. And let me take a look at the next one, which is this one right here. Okay, so this is the word modern. See, this is the word modern. Right there, I had to skip 11. Right there. And let me just put the whole code again. So you see what I was telling you, how this word over here that we just put witnesses connects to the word. They don't intersect, but they're connected to each other. You see how this one ends right here, witnesses, and right here at the bottom, I have the word modern. So it connects. And also, we have here modern right above the two other terms, Moses and Elijah. Okay, so this is the word modern. Connected, not intersecting, but connecting to the word witnesses there. Another term for witnesses. All right, let's keep going. Next one, this one over here. And this one over here, it's from the men. All right, again, we're exploring the idea of Moses and Elijah being modern day men. So this over here, this term is from the men, and it's actually on the text itself. Let me just show you right now. From the men, Anashim. Let me just look at the text. And it says, and Moses, let me just read it right here. From the women commandment. Oh, right here. All of the men, you see? All of the men. So it's actually on the text itself, the word men. It's right there, you see it. So the term is from the men. Now let's look at the whole table. We're going to go step by step, looking at the different terms being added to the table. So this is the one we just added, from the men. Let's go to the next one. Just go right here. This is also men, but this one is and the men. And it's also, I believe, if I remember, I have notes, but let me just look at it again, the verse. They return, sent. Oh, right at the beginning, it's right here. I was looking in the middle of the verse. But it's right there, and the man. You see, it's actually right there. It's in the actual verse, the beginning of the verse. And the man who Moses sent to spy out the land, and who, when they return, made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up an evil report against the land. So right there at the beginning, and the men. So that's the turn again. So it's it's thematic to what I'm exploring in the code, that Moses and Elijah are modern day men. Right there, you see it. Okay, let me go to the next one. But actually, let me show you. I want to be showing you the table step by step. So okay, there it is. So before we go to the next one, just let me show you this, all the detail. You see how all of this is connected? We got here modern over here going across horizontally. Then I got the word witnesses right here connected to the word modern, and the word witnesses also connected to this one over here, and the men at the bottom. You see how it connects modern and the men through the word witnesses? You see the detail, the connection? This is what I call this is code. This is when you distinguish between code and random chances. All right, let's look at the next one. This is the next one right here. This one's in the bottom. Not so much in the bottom, but right there. Okay, and this is also anashim, which is men. But before I show you the verse, let me just show you this. This one basically is the men, the. In other words, you could read the men forward and backwards. From the word men, You have the letter that in front and in the back of the word. So you could read the man forward and you could read the man backwards. But it's also in the plain text, if I recall correctly. Let's just take a look at the verse now. And nor use. There it is. Will thou put out the eyes of these men? There it is. There's the word men right there. You see, it's in the text itself too. In the actual verse itself. Will thou put out the eyes of these men? So that's where this term occurs. Actually, I want to just show you the man, the. And now let's take a look at the whole table, how it looks. So there it is. So there we have another, and the man. We got modern on the top. Okay, let's look at the next term. Look at this one. Look at this one. This one connects to that one that we're just looking at. So this one is man and the. So this one has the word that at the end of the word man, but it's the same thing. You read it the man. And this is not obviously, since it's going. You see the skip here. The other ones are skip 1, so obviously it's on the plain text because it's skip 1. But this one is a skip 12:12, the man, and as you can see from the table, it's a vertical turn going across the key. Here's the vertical key from the witnesses. You see how it goes across of it? And let's take a look at the whole thing, the whole table now. There it is. So you see, actually, you see what I mean? How it keeps connecting, how it keeps making the connections. So not only this term goes across the compound key, the man goes across the compound key. This is a compound key right here. So the man goes right across, and it ends up connecting. This one is not just connecting, but it actually intersects. This term over here, the man, the, with the second the at the end of the man, this one over here, the man, the. So it connects to this one, the man, with the letter hey. You see the letter hey, it's the word the in Hebrew. So it's connected right there. You can see it right here in this part over here. You can see the cursor doing circles right there in on the screen. You see there in green, the letter hey. That's where these two terms connect. The man da, and this one only the man. You see all the connection that you see, and not only that, it goes, like I said, across the key, across the compound key. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, let me see which is this one. Okay, so this one is on the top right here, top left. This is a long one. Let's see which one it is. I don't remember. Oh, in the people, or in the men, or from the people, from the men. So basically, you could say both of these phrases with this term: in the people, or in the men, or actually both of them. You have the word in one side of the word, and you have the letter from on the other side of the word of the term. So you basically have in the people or in the men, because the word for people you could use it also for men. So you got in the people, in the men, or from the people, from the men. Yeah. You see how complex that is? That's really complex. So there it is. Look how many letters it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. At the same skip of the key. Remember, this is straight vertical. Straight vertical. You can see there the skip 4-2. The skip is there 4-2. Same thing as the key. 4-2, which is another detail, really. I mean, to have that, which is the subject of the code from the witnesses, and to have the word in the people or in the men at the same skip of the key is really additional detail, additional connection, supporting evidence, really. All right, let's take a look at the whole thing now. Okay. And just look how that connects to the word modern. I mean, this is what we're just looking at. In the people, in the man, from the people, from the man. And look how it connects to the word modern. Right there, right next to it. That's the word modern right there. And right next to it, in the people, from the people, in the man, from the man. They don't intersect, but they're connected because you see, where one starts the other one. One just goes horizontally at a skip 11, and the other one goes vertical at the same skip of the key 402. But right next to each other, there's the connection right there. Modern day men, modern day men, modern day people. I mean, and like I say, my starting point is the scriptures themselves. I'm just looking at the code as supporting evidence for it. But I really don't need the codes to know that Moses and Elijah, the two witnesses, are modern day men. I don't really need the codes. I mean, it's straight out of the Gospels. Very clear to me. Very clear to me. And actually, now that I just mentioned the word clear, that's also part of the goal. I'm going to talk about that in another section. But the word clear and certain also come up here in the compound key, the vertical compound key, which is amazing. And like I said, something that was very clear to me always. It was kind of amazing to see that word right there on the key as well. But that's for another section of the code, another part, not this one. But what I was saying is that I don't really need this. I don't really need the code. I know it straight out of the Gospels. The Moses and Elijah are modern day men. Jesus identified John the Baptist as the Elijah to come. Really, we don't really need more than that. But let's keep going with the code. So look how amazing that is. Modern and from the people, from the men, right next to each other. Let's take a look at the next one. And let me take a look at, yeah, this is the last one actually for this part. Just one more. Let's look at it. Okay, let me see which is this one. Okay, this was and the people. Okay, this is another one that we just saw vertical at the skip of the key, and the people and the men. So, but this one has the word and. The other one has in and from the people, in and from the men. This one is and the people and the men. So there it is, and it occurs twice. It occurs twice as script 4:7. Here's the other one over here. Let me take a look at it. It's right here on the other side, on the bottom part. It's right here. And the people and the men. So it occurs twice. But let's just work with the one on the top. This one over here. Let's leave that one out for now. This one's good enough. This one is within the region that we're looking. So let's take a look at everything now, the whole table. Oh, you see, I keep forgetting about the details until I look at it, until I put the whole table and look at it. So this last one that we're looking at right here, and the people and the men, right there, you can read it, and the people and the men. Look how it connects to the two terms of Moses and Elijah. Look at it. It's going right here. Let me just show you the term by itself so you can see where it runs across. It's right here. You see it? And the people and the men. So now, before I put the whole table, I just want to look at this. This is a vav, okay? And this is a hey, right? And you're going to see how it connects to the other. Let me just show you so you can look at it. You see how this term that I'm looking at, and the people and the men, is connecting to the two Moses, Elijah, right there. You see, I mean, talk about the connection of the subject matter. Moses and Elijah being modern day men. So we got the term and the man and the people, and look how it connects to these two terms that we looked at the beginning of the table of the code. Moses, Elijah, the two next to each other. Moses, Elijah. And look how this term and the man and the people, it's not unconnected. I mean, intersects. In other words, it has a word, one of the letters in common. Like the two that I was mentioning, the Vav and the Hey. The first one over here, Moses and Elijah, connects to the Vav of Elijah at the end of the term. Eliyahu at the end. That's the Vav right there. You can see that in pink. And the Hey, and the second Moses Elijah here at the bottom, Moses Elijah, the term and the people and the men connects to the letter Hey right there. You see it in pink. You see? You see when I click there, it shows and the people and the men. And I go over here, I click in there, and the people and the men, because that's where it intersects with those two terms, Moses and Elijah. So you see that the level of connection, I mean, this is really extraordinary. It's really out there. There's really no text out there that can produce codes like the Bible codes, like the way the Torah gives you code with the level of details. I mean, it's just extraordinary. So there it is. There's the code for this first part. So I mean, that last part is just amazing. Let me just put everything in focus so you can see in the whole table. So there it is. You see, this is the other one that I was telling you. In the people, in the man, from the people, from the man. But this one over here in the bottom, you see they're kind of connected to each other because they're kind of, this is right here and the other one begins right on the bottom right there. So they're kind of connected. They don't intersect, but they're connected because they're close to each other. And the people. But this one has the word and the men, and the people. But it has this super detail of connecting to the two Moses Elijah terms. Moses Elijah, connecting to the Vav and to the Hey. I mean, that's just amazing. That is just amazing detail and connection in the code. Okay, I guess that's it for this initial part of this code series. Um, Moses and Elijah, modern day men. This is the first part, and like I said, my interpretation has always been that Moses and Elijah are modern day men, and that is straight out of the Gospels. The two references that I gave you, the one about John the Baptist, and the other one about the corrupted flesh not being able to enter the kingdom of heaven. So if Elijah it's in heaven, he already has a glorified body. He's not coming down here to die. He already has his eternal glorified body if it's in heaven. So that's it. Like I say, this code, it gives me plenty of evidence, plenty of detail, uh, supporting evidence that of the interpretation that I hold from scriptures themselves. Okay, so that's it for this code. If you're into Bible codes, I guess you'll follow the series. If you do, you're gonna see some amazing, amazing details and connections in this code. Really, really powerful and interesting stuff. I mean, I even found my own personal signature as a code researcher, which is something I kind of always thought that could be in there. Like a signature for the researchers. Um, I never looked it up before, but I did in this particular code. I did, and I found it. It's amazing. What I found there is it's just really extraordinary how my personal signature appears in this code as as part of the code of the signature of the researcher. It's amazing. It's amazing how that comes out. But I'll cover that in other parts of the series. If you wanna, if you really want to look into that, Just follow the series, and you're gonna see some amazing stuff, some amazing details in this code. Very powerful. All right, that's it for now.